What's going on, everybody? I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I just watched Alkan, or number one boss's video on religion, and I thought I would make a video response to that, because it seems like a lot of people act really religious around me, and there's just certain things about religion that confuse me. I agree 100% with Alkan. I'm in the same kind of boat as him on this. I'm not personally religious at all. None of my direct family, like none of my mom or dad, none of them are religious at all. My grandparents are religious, but that never really rubbed off on me. I am not religious at all. I have never gone to any church or anything like that. I've never been there in my life, and I never plan to. And growing up like I have and all this, I will openly admit that I'm atheist, which, if you guys don't know, means you don't believe in the existence of a God. And yeah, I'm 100% atheist. I don't care what people say. Like, nothing can change my opinion on that. It's just how things are. I wasn't like raised to be religious, and I kind of use the world around me to formulate my own opinion on what I want to believe in, and God was not one of those things, and I'm not religious at all, and I don't see myself ever becoming religious at all. I think I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's bad to be religious. I'm not saying it's your own choice. If you want to be religious, you want to believe in a God, whatever God you believe in, then go right ahead. I'm not going to try to stop you. I'm just stating my opinion on this. I'm not religious at all. Like I said, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. And, I'm not it seems like a lot of people are just born into a religion. Like, when they're born and when they start to get older and understand what's going on around them, their parents or their peers say, oh, well, this is our religion, this is what happens. And when you're a kid, you're kind of grown into that. Like, kids going to church before they know what any of it's about. They're grown up in that environment, so by the time they get older, they have the same beliefs as their parents did. And for me, my parents, and I'm glad, my parents weren't like that. When I was little, I never had to go to a church or a CCD. When all my friends were going to CCD, I never went, and I never wanted to. By the time I got into middle school and up, so like 6th grade and up, I was able to kind of see things how I wanted to see them and use what I like and know and all that stuff. I used what's around me to formulate my own opinion on religion and what to believe in, and I don't believe in a God. So, I personally am more into the science behind everything, and I think that people use God as like a scapegoat almost. I posted this on Alkan's video. It's like, if something bad happens, they're not gonna say oh, well, God must hate me, all this. They're not gonna say okay, this happened by chance. They're not gonna say out of the odds, this is what happened, and you can tell there was a chance of this happening anyways. They're just gonna say, oh, it was God's will, so it must be done. God's will be done. And I don't believe in that at all. I believe, like I said, I'm more into the science behind everything, and I like to think that there's a reasonable explanation for everything out there, that everything there is, everything there will be. I like to think that something can prove that something, I'm trying to think of how to word this perfectly, but it's really hard because I'm trying not to offend anyone in the process. But personally, I like to think that there's something out there other than a divine being that can control everything. And I think the only way I can say this in a way that it can kind of get people to understand is through the words of the comedian George Carlin, who died a few years ago at this point. He was one of my favorite comedians all time, and he has one clip on religion, and his view on it was pretty much saying that religion makes people believe that there's this invisible man floating in the sky that is watching you every minute of every day, and he has a list of things he doesn't want you to do. And it seems like people just use that as a scapegoat. Like I said, if something happens that they like, then oh, thank God. If something happens that's wrong, oh, it's okay because God wanted it to happen, so it's gonna happen. But, like, in my opinion, I'm not religious at all. I think it's kind of ridiculous. The whole idea of that just blows my mind, that people believe that. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong to believe it. I'm just saying that me personally, I don't understand how people can say, like, out of all the things we have now, everything was just created by one guy or one being, and he made everything we have around us today. Everything that ever will be is already planned out for us. And I don't think that's true at all. I mean, I think people have, like, a choice on how they want to live their life, and it doesn't all have to be based around this one idea, this one thing out there that, like, people don't, like, they want to follow this because they think it's the only way to live, like, because if it's bad, then they'll go to hell, or they'll, all these punishments that all these religions have. But, again, from what George Carlin said, like, I mean, I know it's probably not accurate to be quoting a comedian, but if you look back in history, wars that started based off of religion, no matter what that religion was, Christianity, Judaism, Muslim, any of that, wars started because of religion have killed more people than you can imagine in the world. Hundreds of millions if you add up all of everything. And, like, even way back when, like, like medieval times and all that, all those wars on religion, the Crusades, all that killed millions or hundreds of thousands of people, all because they didn't agree on religion. And you would think that what I don't understand is, like, people believe in God because they think that's how the world should go, but that doesn't mean, it doesn't say anywhere that your view on things is perfectly right, everybody else is wrong, so punish people who don't believe in the same thing as you. Like, that's what I don't understand. If people see something differently, or they want to believe in a different religion than you, people think everything is wrong automatically. If it's not the same, like, okay, let's not talk about this. This is a touchy subject. Like, more or less, I'm right, you're wrong, because my God is better. And, so many wars in the past have started because of religion, and millions of people have died because of religion. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact. Like, I was actually talking about this topic about religion and being atheist with my friend Josh. We talked about it in school a little while ago. He's atheist too, and it's like, we don't see, I mean, we don't understand why people can put all of their hope, all of their everything, their whole world, their whole life in the hands of one thing that may or may not even be out there. Like, especially the people, like some of those people, some of the religions, they believe that everything is already planned out for you. Predestination, you were born, and your whole life story is already written. Like, God knows what you wanted to do. He knows how He wants you to live His life, and that's how it's going to happen. A lot of those religions believe in that. Like, there's no fate. It's just whatever God wants you to do. Whatever happens is God's will, and it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to change that. And we just don't understand. I personally cannot wrap my head around the idea that people put so much faith and so much like passion into one person, but I don't know. I mean, we were talking about this in school too, because not the idea of being atheist or anything, but we had to read, like, sections of the Bible in school because it was in Genesis and it's considered famous literature, and we had to read it, and people were saying, like, oh, well, you can't be atheist. Being atheist is wrong. Well, who says it's wrong? Just because it's not what you agree with, not what you believe in, doesn't mean it's wrong. It's like religion, because we don't believe in a God out there, but it's like we have our own beliefs, and people should respect that. But, I mean, I'm not trying to say God is definitely not out there, everybody should be atheist, but all I'm saying is people say to me that you should believe in God because you have to have, because you have to have faith in something, and faith that there's something out there. Well, I do, just because there's no, I don't believe that there's a quote-unquote God out there. It doesn't mean that I have no faith in anything. It's just I personally cannot understand, I can't grasp it, I can't wrap my mind around how people can, like I said, put so much faith in one person, but also because people say, like, anything, like, I don't know how to say this perfectly, because it's really hard to say this without, like, hurting a bunch of people, or, like, trying to do what I hate about religious people. Like, really religious people, I'm fine with it, but if you get so religious to the point where you're just pushing your religion in other people's faces and trying to say that my way is right, your way is wrong, no matter what you say, that's when it really pisses me off. Honestly, if you want to, whatever religion you want to be, go ahead and be that religion. It doesn't bother me. I'm just giving you my opinion on things and why I'm personally atheist. I think that there's things out there beyond what we know, and there always will be, but we can't know everything. But that doesn't mean that one divine being made everything there ever is, when, to be completely honest, quite a lot of that information that people use to back up the possibility of God has already been proven scientifically, and they know why it happens, they know how it happened, and, you know, like, they know all about everything that some people say. And granted, there's going to be times when scientists don't know everything. There's going to be a lot of those times when it's just doubt, but I personally don't believe that there's a God out there, and that is my opinion. You guys can have whatever opinion you want. Just leave a comment with what you guys think. I'm personally atheist, not religious at all, and I never will be. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys soon.